My name is Jim Nolan. I'm president of Southwestern College in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the history of our college and our roots and where we come from. In 1979, Quimby College first offered courses in Alamogordo, New Mexico. Neva Del Hunter, you might say, was a student of the teachings of Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, and Robert Waterman was a student of Neva Del Hunter's. So Neva Del Hunter was given a vision, kind of an esoteric but very profound vision of a school of the future that would bridge the Piscean and the Aquarian age. And Robert Waterman, her student, expanded that vision and also grounded the vision in a curriculum, what he called a curriculum of the soul. And that was the beginning of Quimby College, and at that time we were teaching counseling and offering counseling degrees. So who was Phineas Parkhurst Quimby? Well, I could talk for quite a while about that, but Phineas Quimby was a clockmaker, an inventor, and an energy healer from New Hampshire. He was born in 1802 and died in 1866, so he was roughly a contemporary of Ralph Waldo Emerson. Now, Quimby had been a sickly man as a young man. He'd been racked by consumption, and the physicians of his day did not give him much hope for actually getting better. So there was an experience that Quimby had one day. It involved a horse and a cart that he was riding in. It's kind of an equine-assisted inspiration he had that day. But he had this experience that was experienced by him as very profound, as miraculous, and as transformational. And from that point forward, he steadily became healthier, and his health was restored to him. So this was very interesting to Quimby, obviously. And he began to question whether or not the doctors had actually been right about his diagnosis. And he came to understand that he and the doctors had effectively co-created the illness by thinking about it a lot, by deciding and believing that he in fact had this illness, and then by energetically aligning with the illness within his body. And Quimby's understanding was that they had effectively created the illness and manifested it in physical form. So this was a very profound and pretty visionary thought for an uneducated clockmaker in New Hampshire. So Quimby came to understand that if negative thoughts and misaligned thoughts and misguided thoughts could create an illness, he believed that thoughts that were aligned with a person's divinity and with their natural state of perfection and health and being, that if one really focused on those thoughts, that one could in fact create health and happiness and abundance. I guess more accurately you could say that given those beliefs, one could create an environment within which our natural divine state would manifest, and we would have the health and the abundance and prosperity and happiness that we're seeking in life. Quimby would talk about, he said many times that you don't have to kill darkness, that if you just shine a light in darkness, the darkness will be removed. It won't have a place to be. So in the realm of healing and health, and today we think of it in terms of mental health, that if we really align with the light of truth, that illness and disease will not have a place to live within us. So that was one of Quimby's key teachings, and he was fond of saying that the truth is the cure. So that's a little bit about the kind of work he did, and it's the kind of work that we now do at Southwestern College in training counselors and art therapists. So the mental healing that he did, he called it mental healing, spiritual healing, a variety of things. The healing work that he did, Quimby was quite certain, was exactly the same strategies and techniques that Jesus used when he was on earth, Jesus the man, to work with people and heal them of their illness. And Quimby, it's pretty well documented, he worked with thousands of people and is credited with healing a lot of people from a wide variety of physical and mental ailments. So the idea would be then for Quimby or Jesus to be in the presence of somebody and hold so strong a vision of their divinity, of their wellness, that within that environment that gets co-created with the client, that the illness itself really can't maintain its hold, and that one's natural divine state, one's natural state of health and happiness will emerge and will be maintained. So today, Quimby's work might be called energy medicine, spiritual counseling, something along those lines. He's credited as being the father of New Thought. A lot of people came after him who picked up on his teachings for mental healing and spiritual healing. Emma Curtis Hopkins, the Fillmores, Ernest Holmes, the lineages like Unity Church, Center for Spiritual Living, Church of Divine Science, all come from Quimby's teachings and people that Quimby taught and who learned from his energy healing. And this whole stream is called New Thought now, and it's quite vibrant these days and very important to the school. So New Thought has become a really key part of the foundation of Southwestern College, to the school itself, and the curriculum and the training that we use with the students. Now, Quimby is honored on this campus as being the library is named after him. It's called the Quimby Memorial Library. And this being the 30th anniversary of Quimby College's first offering classes, we've taken the opportunity this year to really look back at the early influences and roots of the school, which lie in the perennial wisdom traditions, the ancient wisdom traditions, and also more recently with people like John Dewey, Carl Jung, Carl Rogers, Abraham Maslow. And today what we have done at the school is talked about, we've named a couple of rooms after two of the key influences, and those are the American transcendentalist Ralph Waldo Emerson and also Rudolf Steiner, who was from South Austria, created anthroposophy and was really a major intellectual influence in the 20th century.